Hello everybody. As you can see, I have just had my wisdom teeth removed. I had six teeth, but only removed four. As you can see, I'm still very drugged up. Actually, they haven't put me on the Vicodin yet. I just can't wait. I do some kind of narcotics to make my mouth really numb. It's starting to wear off though. Well, anyway, I'm going to read to you from a book by the unfortunately named Barret Seaman called Binge, Campus Life in the Age of Disconnection and Excess, what your college student won't tell you. The chapter is called The College Alcohol Crisis. A real college party these days usually starts with a pre, as in pre-partying or pre-gaming. Another aptly descriptive term is front-loading. Because of tight rules governing access to alcohol on most campuses, students who want to drink tend to gather in their rooms. There, typically in small groups, they consume whatever amount of alcohol it takes to sustain a buzz for the rest of an evening in which they expect to be deprived of alcohol. Parties sanctioned by college authorities either have no alcohol or have alcohol limited by the estimated number of legal age students, typically 25%. If you're only 18, 19, or 20, as are roughly 75% of students at the institutions I visited, odds are good to excellent that they won't get another drink in public for a while. Excuse me, my mouth is very dry. This is very difficult, but I still wanted to do it. Anyway, there might or might not be music or even much conversation at a pre-gaming session. The focus is on drinking. Hard liquor, in whatever form is most available, is a poison of choice. As one University of Virginia student explained, you drink hard liquor because it's easier to hide, largely because of a perceived tightening in the enforcement of drinking regulations at Stanford. There's a lot smaller window in which to drink now, reasoned one senior in Palo Alto, California. So you drink a lot faster, and you drink it all rather than waste it. Back east, a Dartmouth student set a dorm room scene in Hanover. There were about 10 of us sitting on the floor, the bed, and the futon in what approximated a circle. There were several conversations going on at a time. On the floor in the corner were several bottles of alcohol, such as pucker, vodka, tequila, vanilla liqueur, and mixes like Sprite, Coke, orange juice, or lime juice. No, I don't want to answer the phone right now. Where's my dad? Anyway, Sprite, Coke, orange juice, and lime juice, along with an assortment of plastic, paper, and silver cups. Most everyone had a cup with some mixture or another, and those who ran out would pass the cup to the person sitting closest to the alcohol and request a drink mixture. Also in the room was a pumpkin, a 4-way bong used for smoking marijuana. Entry into the room is carefully monitored. One girl was passed out on the bed. Fear of security coming in was limited, as the expectation is that you are quiet and not visible, you're okay. End quote. Why college kids drink at all is essentially no different from the way it's always been. In the microcosm of college life, the need for friendship, support, recognition, and some respite from the perceived tensions of academic, athletic, social, and sexual competition is palpable. To drink is to break the ice, to oil the engines of sociability, to enhance confidence, and to stifle inhibitions, especially in the uncertain first few days and weeks on campus. As Middlebury counseling director Gary Margolis wrote in the early 90s, students can feel anxious saying hello, sharing things about themselves, showing interest in another, imagining their own aggressive sexual feelings. By getting buzzed, wasted, or hammered, explained Margolis, they can go beyond the limits of their personalities, competence, and experience. That struck me as logical but rather timeless. The question I was interested in was why today's students seem so unwilling or unable to stop drinking. Drinking games have always been a way to break the ice. They weren't all that popular in my circle of friends, but I do remember occasional games of beer pong in which cups of beer are placed on a ping pong table where they serve as both obstacles and receptacles. Land a shot at one and your opponent has to touch the contents. There were a few others, like Thumper, which is essentially a test of keeping your wits in a word game while drinking, and since drinking is a penalty for messing up, risk getting sucked into a downward spiral. We might have played a few others, but nothing like the array of games now deeply embedded in campus culture. Run a Google search for college drinking games, and you will encounter a rich menu of sites. Most promote one or more of the many different games. Some include enthusiastic testimonials. Others warn darkly of their dangers. There are at least 19 versions of beer pong, with West Coast rules, Virginia rules, and several specific to one campus or another. At Dartmouth, pong is arguably more popular than the outing club. That's ironic. Anyway, its rule is more familiar to most students than the words to Dear Old Dartmouth. Virtually every fraternity and even some sororities have at least one pong table in the basement. At the Chi Rho sorority comes many of the big wings ice hockey players. Wait, I don't know if it's a sorority fraternity, but anyway. 3 well-worn tables made from reinforced plywood form the centerpiece of the basement. Indeed, they were just about the only piece of furniture below the sleeping floors when I visited the house one afternoon. Well, I'd like to know if you agree with any of this and what's your own experience. Oh, by the way, yes, I did actually wear the uniform during the surgery, but I don't remember anything. Last thing I remember is them saying, I'm gonna put this IV in you, and then sit up in your chair, and then it was gone. But anyway, I'm not making out one of these videos, but hopefully this was sufficiently hilarious. Listen to me talk about the college alcohol crisis, with gauze pads in my mouth, and also while I am under the influence of narcotics for possibly the only time in my whole life. Thank you.